Gosh, I love coffee so much. But you know what I don't love? The coffee cart. That's right. Today I'm going controversial. I want to talk to you about the cart. My question is, can we chat about the not so inclusive nature of the coffee cart? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then don't worry, I'll get there, I'll explain it. But some of you are already doing this and nodding, and some of you are thinking, what's wrong with the coffee cart? I love the coffee cart, and that's why I want to talk. So today's idea is from Don't We Already Do Inclusion, and it's idea 3.7. In the book, I call it conduct a special assessment in your school. And the reason special is in air quotes here in this video is because what we're looking for in a special assessment is looking around your school and asking, are there structures and activities and norms? Are some of the things in our school, are they more special than they need to be? And to me, a great example of that is the coffee cart. So if you don't know what this is, the coffee cart, in a lot of schools, high schools, middle schools, and actually I'm even seeing them in elementary schools, students with disabilities have a cart or sometimes even a whole coffee lounge, and they serve muffins and coffee to staff. And for older kids, I think sometimes to students too. So the idea is that students with disabilities get to work on functional skills, life skills. They're making the coffee, they're baking, they're handling money. What's amazing to me is that these carts, these experiences are often positioned as inclusive. And so I wanted to be a little disruptive about that. And so in the book, I write a little bit about how things like the coffee cart, as I've explained it, that's not inclusion. And so I've even started, I've been thinking about starting a hashtag. Hashtag, this is not inclusion. Because those kinds of experiences do not involve students with and without disabilities working together through these common goals and experiences, creating a community, experiencing community, etc. And in fact, when we have students with disabilities serving others and nobody else is helping them in that service. Some students may even get the impression that students with disabilities, that there are certain roles that students with disabilities will have in schools that other kids won't have. So most parents, I think, would say, oh, those skills are really helpful for all students. So I would agree as a parent of a middle schooler and a high schooler that I would want my kid to learn about running a business and about working with customers and so on, because everybody at some point in their life will probably have some kind of an experience, whether it's through volunteering or work, where they are interacting with the public in that way. So let's think about making the coffee cart more inclusive, because listen, I love coffee. I love the coffee cart, but we can do better. So what would an inclusive coffee cart look like? Well, first of all, we're going to involve students with and without disabilities in all of these roles. We're not going to have students with disabilities only as consumers, customers, and students without disabilities, and then students with disabilities in the role of serving. We're going to have kids with and without disabilities not only interacting with our customers, we're going to have individuals involved in handling money, maybe thinking about what we're going to do with that money, maybe even hatching a business plan, maybe even involving some marketing ideas, maybe even involving communications where we can shoot commercials and just be really inventive. So I would ask our math teachers in our schools, I would ask in high school, I would ask the business educators, I would ask maybe even our communications teachers, hey, would you have students that would want to be involved in this? And can you help me envision what we can do with it? How we can really make the learning complex and interesting, and how students with disabilities can still get those skills that they may need, but maybe even ramp up their understanding around being an entrepreneur or running a business or just having a job. So good skills for all. That's just one little piece here though. So if you're thinking right now, hey, maybe there's some steps we can take with our coffee cart, that's great. Coffee break while we're talking about coffee. So good. But let's just talk about one or two other ideas as you're doing your special assessment. In one school I was in, there was a group of kids, seemed like really great kids, and they had developed a club around supporting kids with disabilities. And one of the things that they would do is they would go and have lunch with students with disabilities. I don't know, they would pick one day a week or something. Kids would rotate that responsibility. So they would join those lunch tables. So the two questions for that, kids with, great intentions, seems like really great kids. First of all, we want to think about, why is there a table of students with disabilities? Why are students with disabilities eating in one grouping? That's number one. And number two, is there a way to create a more inclusive lunchroom? So I was more recently reading about a school, I think it was on social media, where the student council had designated tables in the lunchroom. And the student council ate together, or groups of kids from the council ate together at those tables every day. And anybody in the school who didn't have somebody to eat with could join that group. And so it could be a very big group, that these are kids that would like to eat together. So those are some really interesting ways. Some folks do something called the Mix It Up Day, where they bring kids from all groups and kids with all kinds of different identities, those teenage identities and different groups that they're in, and the folks that are more athletic and folks that are more artsy, and they just mix them up. And they have kids eat together and have some conversations together. So that's another one, is think about, is there a way to make something that doesn't need to be so special less special? And then finally, this is actually more common than I would like to believe, but there are still some places I visit where we see special events, special dances for kids with disabilities. And so even though I know in some cases a lot of folks will encourage kids with disabilities, without disabilities, to attend those events, my question is, instead of having kids without disabilities be allies and attend in that way, why not have kids come together and say, how do we make our dances more inclusive, our homecoming, our prom, whatever kinds of events that you're throwing? Our kids, no matter their identity, their gender identity, that they are feeling comfortable. Financially, can students attend our dances? Do kids from all different kinds of cultures, walks of life, feel like these spaces, are comfortable and welcoming and appropriate? So let's look more broadly at this question of inclusivity in all of our norms and routines and our structure. So maybe you could just do a little special assessment today and think about, is there anything that we could make, a little bit more open, a little bit safer, a little bit more compelling, and certainly a little bit more inclusive for all of our students. So I know this is going to be, maybe for some of you, this is where you're going to roll your eyes, but I just have to use this. If you create more inclusive spaces, activities, and norms, you can have your coffee cart and you can have your coffee and drink it too. I had to, I'm sorry. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Off the Page. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like these videos. If you subscribe, we'll let you know every time we upload a new Off the Page video that you can watch, share, hopefully pass on. See you next time.